The uncertain Spurs. No, you do it. No, you do it.
The sperms have this.
The sperms? Basketball's over. Okay, so this is it. This is the most critical point in Midway's history. 92, Mortal Kombat was kind of big, so for 93 they started developing a sequel. They also started concurrently making a little game called NBA Jam.
Mm-hmm.
But they also made a third game around that time that didn't quite make it to market. Why don't you click on that location test ROM right there? Because in addition to Mortal Kombat 2 and NBA Jam, they were also making a digitized Judge Dredd game. This game is incomplete, and I'm going to try and play through the whole damn thing.
What? Okay.
It's like 3 levels.
I see. Yikes, that chin. This game is ugly. And, oh good, there's a Gaming Hell article about this. So yeah, click on that.
Yeah, go to Gaming Hell to learn all about this game. It is a fascinating piece of history, this game is. Let's get to the story.
So this is based on the... Oh, this is based on the movie, isn't it?
It is not based on the movie, it is based on the comics. The movie was being developed at the same time as this game.
Did they know? They had to have known, because why would you go for Judge Dredd? I mean,
maybe not. Maybe they just wanted the Judge Dredd license.
Who the fuck in America was just like, we need the Judge Dredd license? Because they're all dressed up in the costume and...
Well, Midway was always ahead of the time, as I mentioned. They may have just seen it coming, Judge Dredd being the next big thing.
Who was wanting... Who... I mean, I guess he was... I mean... I guess 2000 AD was... Yeah.
It was a labor of love for some of the staff.
Yeah, that's a good point. I can imagine a lot of... Yeah, I bet it's explained in the Gaming Hill article, too. I am just...
I wanted this game to surprise you. Maybe the most surprising thing is that it uses the same control scheme as Narc, so you can think of this maybe as a spiritual successor to Narc. Check out that lady back there walking Goro. Oh, by the way, you can play too.
Shit,
up to three Judge Dredds can play at the same time.
Okay, like Googly mentioned, Judge Dredd in this game is played by Midway artist Sal DeVita.
Oh man, that's Sal DeVita himself. Working on Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam and all that. In addition to this terrible unfinished Judge Dredd game.
Or is that just the outfit?
They're both very paunchy.
I love
all the
it.
Judge Dredds.
No way, it's great.
They kind of got a little chub on them.
Oh, I can crouch, but I can't walk while I crouch. Okay, that's different.
Oh, good job saving the citizen.
Well, I didn't want Goro to get hurt. He's just a little angel. Look at that. I want a bowler hat.
Gotta give them credit for trying. This is not a great game, but at least they tried to make a beat 'em up back then. I can only assume this was in response to Atari's work in the field, who at the time was making games like Pit Fighter and Guardians of the Hood, and for whatever reason Midway felt like they needed to compete in that field.
Giant rats!
There's giant rats. I told you it was rat day. Hey, no drowning.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Oh, another thing I didn't mention. I should have mentioned this at the top of the screen. One thing that makes these games look as distinct as they do is they use what's called a medium resolution monitor, which is to say these games are something like 512 by some sort of degrees, as opposed to 256, which most games were back then. And essentially, more lines of resolution means more better graphics, which is why these graphics are so detailed in these games. And it's essentially what allowed digitized graphics to happen in the first place. We did some nice synchronized kicks there.
Okay, did they really get a rat from the pet store? Or are you fucking with me? Because if they got a rat from the pet store, I am in love.
We need an actor. Go to the pet store.
They did! Blood. Okay! Oh my god, I need...
Petco, getting work.
Oh my god, just imagine being the rat in Judge Dredd.
Yeah. That's a hell of a thing to put on your resume.
They named him Ratto. He was gonna be snake food. He got a second life in this unreleased game. I love Ratto. Ratto is
Ratto's a hero.
Ratto is a hero. Oh my god. Ratto. Danny, Ratto!
Ratto. Gotta love Ratto.
Oh my god, Danny,
So
games are good.
For what this is, there's a pretty good amount of game here. They had to do a lot of digitization work on all these actors and everything. Not to mention their paunchy Judge Dredd actor. This is also weird because it's a brawler that lets you kick down and up, like the green Judge Dredd is doing right now. So you don't just strike to the left or right, you can actually strike in multiple directions. I got kicked off the building. Does that say back there? They're
okie dokie, folks.
They're okie dokie, folks. It sure is. Personally, I like its dive kick. It works pretty well.
I like this. Oh man, it's a cloning machine.
Now, the game's not great, but I will say it is better than Guardians of the Hood, which is what they were competing against, I can only assume. So you beat Atari, but I don't think this lives up to Midway's otherwise higher standards. This is kind of a jank-looking game. Then again, if it was finished, who knows? It might have been a classic.
You want me to continue, or are we good?
Yeah, let's continue.
Oh, crime doesn't pay, everybody.
Oh right, and JP Ronnie points out there was another Judge Dredd game that actually did get released. It was a light gun shooter from apparently Gremlin. Wow.
I remember that game. Okay, that's what I was confusing this with. That's why I thought this was okay.
There was also an arcade version of that game, which makes this extra confusing. I feel bad they had to cancel this, because this must have been so much work. Just wrangling all the actors, taking time off of NBA Jam just to work on this shit. Do we have to kill the cloning machine?
That's what I'm trying to do, but it won't let me.
Maybe we can't. Maybe it's unfinished.
Oh no, he died.
Whoa, there's a dude with a big belly hanging out. Look at this dude.
Wow! This guy got a prosthetic belly on?
I think so. Got one of those Santa Claus bellies. Maybe we should just try to finish this level and move on. I don't know how much of the game there is. I assume a decent amount. It did make it to location test.
Yeah, Armor mentions you can beat the game, sort of.
I think at some point it just, like, ends and resets, right?
I
don't think you're playing anymore.
Oh, I sure am not.
Hard to tell with all the chaos, all the judges going around.
Okay, so this does have some sort of ending if you really want to keep playing and go far.
Alright, how much more game do we have here?
I'm assuming
if anyone knows.
lot.
It says death is coming at the end, and it never came. Boy, these mechanics could use some refining, but I assume that's what they were gonna do.
Okay, BBH says at least go to the second level, so let's at least do that.
Alright, can do.
There are 2 more stages and 3 bonus stages, but they're kind of long. So yeah, let's just go to stage 2, I guess.
Okay.
So we can keep it
The hell,
moving.
when else are we gonna play this piece of shit? I like the details, like knocking people into walls and knocking them off buildings and stuff. And of course the graphics are pretty good.
Stop.
Alright, he's currently at Surly. So we should move him to Mean, and then Vicious, and then Brutal.
Okay. Just kick his ass.
Uh-oh, he's going mean. I'm glad he announced that. Look, Surly only looks out for one guy. And who keeps screaming Judge Dredd?
I assume it's Judge Dredd screaming Judge Dredd to, like, announce his presence.
Judge Dredd here. I am the law. I'm going apeshit.
Vicious, but I prefer apeshit, honestly. I wish he was a rat.
Yeah, this should be a rat. I'm going brutal.
Judge Dredd, yellow will never block. I refuse to. I believe it's a coward's move. You can quote that, put it on scrub quotes.
I look cool when I crouch.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah, I should be fighting this guy.
No, you just keep crouching.
Got him.
Mean Machine, you're going to jail. Objective accomplished. Tower secured.
Nice.
Good work, Judge Dredd number 2.
Thank you, Judge Dredd 1.
Mission accomplished. Good work, Dredd.
And other Dredd.
Attention, Judge Dredd. Report to the Hall of Justice.
Alright.
The streets are my courtroom.
Ah, it's the, it'll be your circle button. It's a hologram shooting range. Because it's the future.
I wonder if holograms gonna take off.
I've been waiting for that. They brought back virtual reality. Maybe holograms are next.
I wish, you know what? I would like that. I would appreciate that. I think maybe that's what the world needs right now, is more holograms.
They're gonna bring back Dippin' Dots.
Are they really?
I don't know, I made that up.
When did Dippin' Dots leave?
Practice makes
Yeah.
Oh, I'm crying now.
Be ashamed, Dredd number 2. I'm going mean, I'm going brutal, I'm going to jail.
Mission accomplished.
This game might have been a fun, goofy playthrough if it came out, but realistically it was not going to compete with the likes of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, apparently Galloping Ghost Arcade has this.
Holy hell. I would love to play a cabinet of this.
renegade robots. Cease and desist.
So for level 2 it turns into a different game. It's a side-scrolling
What the fuck?
platformer now, and it's a run-and-gun shooter as well.
Danny, what the hell?
This seems strange, but consider that another game very recently did this. That would be Sega's Spider-Man game. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta crouch and shoot. That's annoying. So maybe they weren't too confident in their beat-em-up design and decided they needed to cram in another game here. This is pretty freaking weird.
I mean, the beat-em-up design is just fine, too. I mean, it is what it is.
It's not spectacular, but it's existent. This, on the other hand, feels a little bit tacked on. I don't know, it's kind of fun.
Should I continue?
Let me see how far I can get.
Okay.
You should hold off. I'll finish out this credit, maybe. But yeah, very odd game that seemed a little bit confused about what it wanted to be, is I think how you can sum this up. It had the tech, it had the people, just didn't quite make it to market for various reasons. But at least the prototype's in MAME for you to observe.
God, I love the way you crouch in this game.
It's good. He does a full-on crouch with the bent legs and the arms out. Game over, Judge Dredd.
Look at that face.
Love that face.
So good.
Judge Dredd, unfortunately unreleased, but what they did is present in MAME. Good work, MAME.
Thanks, Mame.
Thanks, Judge Dredd. Let's move on. Alright, so let's play Mortal Kombat 2. This was going to come out the same year as Judge Dredd. This game.
Yes, click on that Tepid Snake link. It's an interview with staff members on this game. Very cool. Thank you for Judge Dredd. Thank you. Should I play?
Yeah.
So mad I can't be Sonya, but...
Now, I mentioned before I'm no good at Mortal Kombat 2. The only move I know how to do is that slicing blades with Baraka here.
Round one, fight.
I didn't think you'd do it right off the bat.
Fighting Alex is just all about reading me.
Hey, walk into these. Oh, damn it! It didn't work. My brilliant scheme.
Electric Boogaloo mentions this is the first use of the DCS sound system.
Oh yeah, the sound got a huge upgrade for this game. In general, the technology tended to take a step up for each new Mortal Kombat sequel. So by the time Mortal Kombat 3 came out, it had deluxe sound, huge characters, lots of colors on screen. There we go.
Listen, if there's a way to play Mortal Kombat without spamming the one move you know, I am...
We're delivering the real experience here of real kids flailing around on a machine of a game that they should not be playing. We're here to deliver the real hardcore experience.
Could you not slice and dice me?
No. Oh, yeah.
Ah, you eviscerated me, buddy!
I don't know Baraka's fatality, sorry.
Oh man, I'm all gutted. I'm continuing.
Literally.
I don't know who to be.
Alright, so here's a fun fact that's semi-related. If you're wondering why MAME is in the Stone Age on like consoles like the original Xbox and the Wii, essentially any console with a port of MAME, they stick to old versions of MAME. I think like version 0.16 or something. And that's specifically because the Mortal Kombat games run at full speed in that version. Afterwards, they removed a lot of the hacks that made these games work, technically, without actually emulating them correctly. And once they put in the right emulation, it made it much more difficult and CPU intensive to emulate correctly. Yeah, Uzi says it's 0.78. That sounds about right to me. But Mortal Kombat's real popular, and if anyone wants to install MAME on their console, pretty much the first thing they're going to want to play is Mortal Kombat, and they'll get pissed off if it doesn't work. So that's why emulator authors did that. Plus some back-end stuff that made it easier to port. I did my one move.
Right in the jewels.
Thanks. 0.106 was the last to have those hacks, JP Ronnie points out.
Should we keep going?
Nah, people know what Mortal Kombat is.
It's Mortal Kombat. Watch our video about Mortal Kombat 3. Thank you.
MK2, pretty good. I like it. It's a quality game. 3, kind of a dud, but we'll get to that.
I don't know about that.
So also in 93, there was a little game called NBA Jam. Why don't we play that? I think we may end up skipping some of the re-releases of these games, because after this they did make Tournament Edition, other expansions, but for this one we're just going to play the original ass NBA Jam.
Love that teal color. Perfect. Beautiful. Back when logos were good, damn it. That's right, I'm going to be hipster about logos now.
Let's do it. Well, this could afford to be loud.
Yeah, turn up a little bit. Alright, I'm playing.
No. So let's be teammates.
Okay.
Which team you want? Oh, you get to pick, so go ahead.
Houston or San Antonio?
Gugliata! I mean, San Antonio. It's so fun to imitate the dude's barks. Ducks!
I love the old Bucks logo, I just want to say. Again, I'm hipster for logos.
Mm-hmm. The logo hipster. Alright, so you got a turbo button, a shoot button, and a pass button. And you do various moves with combinations of those. No, you dunk it! No, you dunk it! I'll get the right button this time.
Stop it. Give me that ball. I need it.
Elliot, head fake. Great defense.
So you can imagine this made a pretty good match with Midway's experience with digitized graphics. What they did is they digitized the heads of all the different NBA stars at the time, and they just made generic bodies for them. And the result looks pretty good, especially for 93. Did you know Turbo exists?
Oh,
For 3! Nice shot!
maybe I shouldn't have hit that guy, but... Hey, no! Don't shock-a-lock? No!
Don't you shock-a-lock me. Give me the ball, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Don't run. Oh, man! This is the worst Spurs ever.
It really is. Did you not? I need that basketball!
Come on, give me the ball back. I just totally goaltended there, and the game didn't call me on it. That's
we've
cool.
been fouled over and over. It looked like I...
Poor.
Robinson, head fake. Finger slams it in. Up 5-6. Elliott, head fake.
Got it.
Certainly that's a crime, like him getting in front of me.
A basketball crime.
Yeah!
I think they call those violations.
Elliott,
Oh.
Yes, there. I think it was what version of NBA Jam had the cuss version? Was that the Super NES or?
That would be, yes, a prototype version of the Super Nintendo one, with announcer Tim Kitzrow making various curses that replaced the usual announcements. Saying things like, grabs his Johnson, instead of grabs the rebound. And, he's on fucking fire!
Nope. Hey!
Edwards.
Give me that!
Away with the board.
Thank you.
Another thing to say about this and Midway games in general is just how fast it is. You just
Yes.
blaze across the court, and quarters are over in a matter of minutes. Which, of course, made the game take in a lot of money back when it was big.
Give me that. Nice.
The skyhook. Thought those were illegal.
Elliott,
Why?
Elliott with a very optimistic throw.
Elliot presses the wrong button.
5-4.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Making me look like an
Kick his
idiot.
ass. No! No!
They had to turn the camera away because I was going to kick his ass.
No!
Jeez, this dude's all over me.
Elliott,
How many NBA Jam fans we got out there?
There's a lot of discussion about the history and everything about NBA Jam and how interesting it is. Yeah, a lot of fans here. People talking about
I would imagine.
those.
This game kind of bridged the gap between, you know, sports fans and people who usually don't give a shit about sports games. Just because it's genuinely fun. It's easy to pick up. It doesn't get bogged down in the details. It's got goofy but kind of cool looking graphics. They got especially good when you would enter the codes like Big Head mode.
Elliott, Robinson.
The uncertain Spurs. No, you do it. No, you do it.
The Spurs have this.
The sperms? Basketball's over. The Spurs have been canceled.
I don't know if I can keep. Oh,
You've brought shame to the NBA.
should I quit?
Sean Elliott has just lost his shit. He doesn't want to play anymore. This dude's ass. Get the...
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Alex with the Freudian slip. No good. Let's move on. Yeah, NBA Jam's good. It's great. It made a whole lot of money, as you might imagine. Next up, let's skip that one. Why don't we move to... Let's do Revolution X. We can spend a couple more minutes on that. So next up would have been NBA Jam
Bubba!
Next would have been NBA Jam TE and Mortal Kombat 3, but MK3 has a definitive version that we'll play instead in a second. For now, let's play the real game.
We're gonna honk on Bobo, baby!
We're gonna honk all over Bobo. This game came out on every console at the time. Super Nintendo, Genesis, PlayStation, Saturn, PC. None were spared the wrath of Aerosmith.
Why was Aerosmith everywhere?
I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. But in this game's canon, at least, they're the only chance America's youth has to overcome the New Order nation.
Mm-hmm.
They've banned video games, television, magazines, even magazines. You can't read.
Oh, no.
Reading is for punks.
Neo-industrial governmental militaristic oppressive alliance. Led
Seizing
by
all
L-
citizens between 13 and 30.
Oh Oh my god.
It's like opposite Logan's Run.
All right, we're the last surviving free youth, and we have to, yeah.
BBH has 2 nearby T2 cabinets.
It's a weapon.
And 3 nearby Revolution X cabinets.
You want to turn it down just a touch, but not too much.
But that's
yeah,
that's Steven Tyler himself. Doing the voice and motion capture and everything. You can also get this. Copy down this address, send it in, and you'll get your letter returned to you. Poster for $6 ain't bad, though.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's send in for one.
If anyone can possibly offer an explanation for why this game exists, or why Aerosmith did what it did, or was as huge as it was in the 90s...
Okay, I know. Aerosmith was like... This was pre... I don't want to... Oh my god.
Is Aerosmith the best band ever?
I guess we're starting, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh shit, I started myself. Well, there's gonna be a player 1 who does nothing.
No, you're good.
They even got a roller coaster on this time in like 98, 99 at Disney World, which I think I saw a thing about they only got because Guns N' Roses were too expensive.
They wanted to make it Guns N' Roses instead.
Actually, no, seriously, Aerosmith was a pretty cheap license at the time for like big time rock star. That may be why they had so many licensed things.
That might explain it.
Yeah.
They might have just been, you know, you can shoot the cat if you want. It eventually turns into a trog.
Oh shit.
So that's a fun little Easter egg. Anyway, what the hell were we saying? Aerosmith.
There's gonna be a sequel planned with Public Enemy.
Yeah, that's the game I wanted to see. Like, I don't think that could have been made. A game where you're Public Enemy shooting cops.
Well, they could be neo-futuristic, feudal, corporate cops or some shit.
True.
Also, the idea that Aerosmith is still as popular and that they're a revolutionary force is just delightful to me.
For anyone who doesn't have the context, Aerosmith was a band dating from the 70s. They had a few hits back then. Their biggest one maybe being Dream On, which is actually pretty decent.
It's a good song.
And then they kept going through the 80s, and then the 90s, where they experienced a new wave of popularity, thanks to being included in games like this, and the soundtrack to Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, and don't forget fucking, had a big hit with I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, which,
Oh, true, that was part of the Armageddon movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go!
That was actually a, whatchamacallit, that was a single. Oh,
Let's go in.
It wasn't even on one of their albums. That was actually just a single that really revitalized
Oh yeah, Uzi points out their resurgence started with Walk This Way, which was a co-pro with Run DMC, I think. You can go either way. And for whatever reason, they just had huge staying power, and if that's true, that it was cheaper than other acts, that would make a lot of sense. I just CD'd that lady in the butt.
Sorry, I wanted to see if you could see her in the butt, and it doesn't really do anything, so...
If you shoot the locks, you can free them.
Oh shoot, free them. Where's the lock?
Oh, shoot those fish in the background.
Okay.
Now shoot that mirror. Between the fish. Yeah, secret.
It's here.
Dudes in the dark. And... more dudes. Is that enough dudes? Oh, light switch. There we go. Had to see where we were going. And you climb up into the rafters only to find... Steven Tyler!
You got wings! I hate that band.
Same.
I'm not really a fan of that show.
Well, Aerosmith is performing right below us as we speak.
You're not gonna give up.
I think we took the shortcut, so we won't actually get to see them perform.
Oh man.
Instead, we get to see the green room, where we get to destroy all the food and roses left for Aerosmith.
Oh, what is it? Sushi? Fuck off. It's actually like a new order. I gotta see sushi. Oh, I can't see sushi.
Play it.
If you're watching this, then they've taken over. It's up to you now. Find our car and stop the new order.
That So
Remember,
fucking cool.
Yeah.
music is the weapon.
It's been mentioned before, but some ports don't have that thing where the hand reaches up, and frankly that ruins the game for me.
Alright!
Oh right, this is licensed music.
Sweet
Sweet emotion. Wait, that is the actual song. Shit.
Non-boys.
Love in an elevator.
Honkin' on Bobo, honk, honk, honk.
They never did a song called Honkin' on Bobo.
They have an album, so they should have a song. They should have a titular Honkin' on Bobo, and it goes like, we're honkin' on Bobo, honkin' on Bobo, honkin' on Bo, we're honkin' on Bobo, honkin' on Bobo.
Now Rai mentions the fact that maybe in this case the guns are the actual weapon and not the music. That's New Order Nation thinking, buddy. You gotta think more like Aerosmith. Music is the weapon. I didn't even mention that you throw CDs at people in this game, or that this is a sequel, essentially, to Terminator 2, where they replace the rockets with CDs.
Just stealing a joke from chat. I'm honking on Bobo. Yeah, yeah. And don't it feel good?
Yeah!
I like that was the Yuck Yuck. It looked like a comedy club. I like the Mud Flaps.
Mud Flaps. Be good. Be like Johnny. I will say Midway packs a ton of detail in their games and lots of good background jokes. Good stuff to notice if you're replaying the game in arcades.
Yeah, I know it's been a while since we've celebrated Aerosmith Day, but
Don't give up!
Still, this is a key portion of Midway's digitized graphics push in the 90s. And also, I would argue, kind of the jump the shark moment. Because from this point on, they kind of lost it. They lost the plot just a little bit. As great as Revolution X is,
Can I have your autograph?
as great as Revolution
What's
X
her name?
is, there we go. I can't think while I play this game. We have to stop this. My brain turned to mush while listening to Aerosmith.
it's too difficult, yeah.
That's a game that happened. Now, around this time, they also made Mortal Kombat 3, and 6 months later, seriously, just 6 months later, they shipped an upgrade to arcades called Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Let's play that. Now, if you look up Retro Pals on YouTube, you will find this documentary called Mortal Kombat 3, something like, this game's a dud, so get mad at this video. I think that's what we called it.
You know, I don't think, have people stopped leaving us angry comments on that?
I think so, yeah, the latest algorithm wave has died down.
Okay, cool.
But essentially what we argued is MK3 shipped incomplete. And looking at this game, it's real easy to see that, because this game added back all the stuff that was removed from the first game. There wasn't Scorpion in Mortal Kombat 3. They put him back in, along with a couple other characters. They fixed the balance, removed some infinites, and essentially turned it into a complete game, which the vanilla MK3 was not. Now, unfortunately, console people did not know this, so vanilla MK3 was ported to all the consoles at the time, and then Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 came out, pretty much ruining vanilla MK3. Just like, yep, you're gonna play the inferior version of this game that now has an upgraded version in arcades.
I'm gonna play Striker next time. Who's everybody's favorite character, apparently.
It's Striker.
Nice.
I will say, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is a huge improvement. I would say this is a decent game. Still not huge on the whole look and feel of MK3 compared to the first two, but Ultimate makes the most of it, and it's a very playable and fun game. And as E-Reserve points out, they did eventually release Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on consoles. Not PlayStation. PlayStation only got vanilla MK3 and Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Saturn got Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, so did Genesis and Super Nintendo.
I just want to say it's weird that I have an axe.
I forgot all of Jax's moves. There we go.
Listen, all I need is 2 moves.
MK3 also added weird stuff like animalities, which look really goofy, and they added a dial a combo system straight out of Killer Instinct. You harpooned me and then punched me in the butt just now. that's fine. And yeah, as people point out, MK Trilogy itself was an upgrade of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, which added its own little things. A bunch of different characters, the bosses were playable. Eh.
And yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 was where they did introduce bibalities and friendships, but...
Oh, that's right, yeah. I'm gonna be Striker.
Okay, you can be Striker.
Oh wait, you can pick. Yeah, be Striker. We'll both be Striker.
Oh God! Oh, I hate him! Look at him!
He's got fingerless gloves. Those moves. He has a gun, right?
How do I shoot?
There we go.
What is it?
It's back forward high punch. Oh, it has range now. You gotta be close in this one.
This is stupid.
It sure is.
Who's trying to shoot it? It's Mortal! Is Striker a narc? Oh, abso-fucking-lutely.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, considering that his alternate outfit is red, so that matches up with the narc dudes. I only know the gun moves, so that's all I'm gonna use.
Could you stop shooting me? Jesus Christ.
This dude's got a lot of blood in him.
He sure does, and I keep running into that. I only know one set of moves, and it's for Scorpion. I do not know Gunboy's moves.
And yeah, Majima, that's a common complaint among old Mortal Kombat. They are very stiff. Possibly owing to the digitized graphics. They kind of had to limit the animations to make them look natural.
Thank you for telling me how to spam. I may spam next time.
Why does one dude get a gun? Why does he fire it in the air when he's done?
Alright, one more.
Okay. And yeah, Boogaloo's pointing out the many different secrets in these games. This one had a Galaxian ripoff. I think Pong was in either this or MK2. Different hidden characters, secrets. It's been a thing since MK1 with Reptile. Oh, I don't know any of this dude's moves.
Oh my god.
Nice hair. There we go. Hair versus bow and arrow. Who will win?
Well done. Sindel wins.
Cool.
Round 2. Fight.
Was it really 250 matches to unlock Pong and MK2? That's a lot of matches. Could you even do that during the course of a regular arcade's opening hours?
I am not good at spamming with her.
Nah, I'm not good either.
Well,
If you want to see good play of Mortal Kombat 3 by me, watch our video.
you're really
I
good.
actually did study the combos in order to record good gameplay footage, and now I've forgotten them all. But even if you're a doofus who doesn't know any of the moves, Mortal Kombat can still be pretty fun.
Place your bets, who's gonna win?
It's a close one, I win.
Arrowed right in the cart.
Arrowed. Yeah, UMK3. It's not bad. And if you're gonna find one Mortal Kombat in the wild nowadays, it's probably gonna be this one. Give it a play. You may like it. I like that Mortal Kombat.
That good old
It's got its own
Uncanny.
style. Moving on. Next up, Wrestlemania. You ever wish NBA Jam had wrestlers in it?
Yes! God, yes!
Well, this
Every
is the
fucking day!
This is the game for you.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh.
We covered this game on PlayStation Year 1 as well. We had a fake wrestling podcast where Alex called Yokozuna a jobber.
Every fucking...
But the arcade version looks way, way better than the console versions. Just huge characters, full of detail. That should do it. And the first character you pick on the roster is Doink. It was kind of an odd transitionary period for the WWF, so these stars are kind of... They got Undertaker.
They got Doink!
They got Doink. Want to do co-op?
Yeah.
Now look at these big-ass characters in this version of the game. Unlike the PlayStation one, which had really tiny, limited animation characters. This is a good-looking game in arcades.
Bam Bam, no.
You got 2 punches,
Oh, I
2
didn't
kicks,
mean to hit you.
various moves. And I believe this is from the same team as NBA Jam, essentially. So they're juicing up wrestling like they juiced up basketball. Maybe juicing up isn't the right phrase to use here.
I was gonna say words.
Hey, let go of my friend Doink.
Oh god, there's another Doink! Oh, I hate when it's double
4
Doink.
Doinks? Let's take
Don't come back, Sean.
Taker has, like... He's got that glove, and he can shoot ghosts at people. Oh, fucked by Doink.
God damn it, Doink.
This time, I will be Yokozuna.
I'll be Bret Hart.
4 Doinks is canonical, that is correct. Want to do head-to-head or cooperative? Head-to-head.
I guess we didn't do that.
See, one thing I like about this game is you basically lock on to your opponent. Any move that you do will automatically seek them out. If they're close enough, you'll hit them.
Whoa, I ripped baseballs out of you.
You ripped my face off.
I don't like that.
Looking back, I maybe should have looked up the moves list for some of these games, but whatever.
Yeah, look, God, you do have ham hocks just flying off.
Uh-huh.
Ow. My sternum is cracked now.
Pretty sure that's a Vince McMahon edition. Ham hocks have to come out of Yokozuna.
That absolutely sounds like it. You know what I'm sad about? I'm sad they never made an XFL game. You think they're gonna make one with the new XFL?
Ooh, maybe. What are the different moves? I know some of them are like Street Fighter style. There you go, pulling off my face again.
Oh, those are eyeballs that are coming out of you when I do that. That's awful.
That's terrible. Well, you yanked my eyeballs out.
To the Midway Hall of Fame.
Should I continue?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Let's do one more match with Bam Bam Bigelow.
Versus who haven't seen? We haven't seen Razor Ramon.
Yeah,
Head?
yeah. Man, look at Bam Bam's suit. He's literally on fire.
No, I'm just. That's just Guy Fieri's brother, yeah.
Sure looks like him.
Please, slam me into Flavor Town.
Ow.
Okay, that was cool. Man.
Man, I pulled that one out at the last minute.
Alright, so.
Oh yeah, Bam Bam was in that NES WrestleMania game. He was around for a while. Starring in several games, I'd assume. This is a bad showing. I'm just kicking a dude.
How do I pin? Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Alright. Whoever wins this wins the AEW Championship Belt. Don't ask how I got it.
Imagine stealing the championship belt. What would you even do with it?
I mean, it's
Well,
right.
leave it on the side of the road, apparently.
You know, the cops said they found the belt, and then the cops said they didn't find the belt, so...
That's suspicious. That's WrestleMania. It's pretty dumb fun. Let's move on to our final batch of games. Now, we skipped Cruis'n USA, which was a year before where we are, but let's go to Cruis'n World. Let's cruise around the world.
We are being requested to play Open Ice.
No. It's not on
That
the
is
list.
your answer.
Is that as digitized graphics? So who's wanted to cruise the USA, nay, the world?
I would like to cruise around the world. It does have digitized graphics, apparently.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, we forgot. We'll do this again sometime, and
You got the power. Cruise the world.
I like this vocal thing. Maybe I'm gonna turn it down.
Okay.
Okay, that was good.
This game uses digitized graphics for the ladies, and that's it. You gotta have ladies in swimsuits. So if you've ever been to a Fuddruckers or an Applebee's, there's a good chance that this may be in the arcade section, next to an Area 51 or possibly Maximum Force cabinet. This is a very common game. Both this, Cruis'n USA, and Cruis'n Exotica are mainstays in American arcades. Even places that don't typically have arcade games, they'll often just have a Cruis'n.
Yeah,
It's because it makes money.
ZZ1K says Cruis'n is a symbol of arcade gentrification. Can't say I disagree, actually.
This is another Eugene Jarvis creation. He's a man of the people. He knows what the people love.
They love big cars going driving.
Doing ridiculous stunts. I don't know what hit me there, but that's okay. I got an American flag on the back of my whatever this is. A Hummer? Okay. Looks like an armored tank.
Well, I mean, that's basically a Hummer. You know, you throw something. Oh my god, you're in the ocean.
Yep.
Flipper is freaking out.
So Cruis'n USA was a little wild. We'll get to that. But this game amped it up a little bit. Making you drive through aquariums, taking you to Egypt, all these other exotic locales. Oh yeah, they added this. If you pump the gas twice, you do this. And you can jump over other cars.
Oh my god. It's a Humvee, not a Hummer? Okay.
I think you can, yeah, you can do it on corners too. Shut up, Flipper. I'm gonna haul ass to Lollapalooza.
Yes, Dr. Jordo says he went to an arcade in the late 90s, 2000s, had a Cruis'n game, or Maximum Force, or Area 51.
All those games, super popular picks for arcades.
Don't forget that one, was it Carnival?
Oh, Carnival, Jesus. Oh, can I intersex with these controls?
Come on, believe in you. Almost.
Yes,
Nice.
I did it!
That was so good!
That was skill.
TTT sex, baby.
I think I'll play a little bit more of this.
Okay.
I've decided tonight's closer is going to be Cruis'n USA, and you'll see why. But this game did introduce a couple of mechanics. It got an N64 port, as did all the games. And it's limited, but pretty fun. You got multiple views you can pick from. You got a radio button. Play the jungle bump.
Is that a monorail? Oh wait, no, that was probably a high-speed train. Huh? I mean, I guess a monorail is a kind of high-speed train. Think about it.
That's true.
I mean, I guess they're high-speed.
Woo! We're just having a good time out here.
See, we're being asked if these games have the Clintons in them. I don't know.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
I will answer all your questions and more.
All will be answered if you keep watching our beautiful stream. The beautiful cars. Okay, that was cool as shit.
Whoa, hey.
Hey, it's that statue again. Do you think it's the same one?
I think it is. I think they got a lot of mileage out of that statue. Actually, hold up. There, I win.
Nice! There she is. Thanks.
Moving on, we got a few final games to check out. Let's check out NBA Maximum Hang Time. So the lineage goes NBA Jam, NBA Jam TE, NBA Hang Time, and then finally in 1996, NBA Maximum Hang Time. This is the ultimate evolution of the NBA Jam formula. Unfortunately, NBA Jam, the name, went to Acclaim, who published the console versions and somehow got control of the name. So Midway itself, the creator of NBA Jam, had to rename their damn game.
We've been asked by so many people to put in the special code for that sitcom star guy.
All right, give me the code.
It's Perry, all caps, 3500.
Okay, can do.
All right.
Do I have to enter any button combinations?
No clue.
Perry, 3500, you say?
Let's see if I can get Perry. Okay.
We're both Perry.
And
Oh, you're Perry.
I'm Perry. Look at me!
You sure are. Look at you go.
Oh my god! What is Perry? Perry is he's in San Antonio now, baby.
He's got hidden attributes. You can't know how good Matthew Perry is. I can't believe you're playing. I can't believe you put Matthew Perry on the San Antonio Spurs.
Are you offended?
That's sacrilege. Where we come from, that's punishable by death. Luckily, this is just a video game.
Oh, look at my dumb head. I love it. Ah, you're all...
Yeah, I'm sure it's been mentioned in chat, but NBA Jam has a history of hidden characters. First, the Mortal Kombat characters in NBA Jam, which the NBA didn't like and made them take out. And then later on, they got even weirder, putting in the Clintons. There's a dog in one of the games. And then there's this game.
Dog makes sense. Dog actually makes sense. Airbud.
Yeah, true. Could I be any more on fire? Yeah. Give me the ball. No,
Robinson and Matthew fucking Perry.
a dream team. I can only assume by this point the whole NBA Jam formula was kind of wearing thin on Midway, so they decided to go to football. And while this is outside the scope of tonight's stream, the next game they would make in their sports series was NFL Blitz, which was quite popular. I like NFL Blitz, especially the pile drivers. Get back here, you. I just shoved the shit out of Matthew
Perry,
Perry.
kick his ass!
Oh, is Dan Amrich in this one too? Yeah, like everyone. Celebrities, magazine editors, people from Friends.
1 minute to go. Deflected. Layla grabs the ball. He goes to the hoop.
Oh, my dude's on fire.
Hammered it. Ace.
Get out of here, Perry.
Nice.
I'm glad one of us was Perry.
He goes. He's heating up.
Give Matthew Perry ball.
Never.
That's a three. Hawk
For the three.
Ace.
He's a good man.
Is he?
Ace. Great shot.
Yeah, look
Oh,
at that.
nice layup.
Motumbo.
He got game.
I do. I make $1 million per episode of Friends, and
And
I
Netflix pays you even more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I get $1 million per year in syndications too. They do not mess with me.
That's maximum hang time. Not too different from NBA Jam. What were you going to say?
Oh, it was a really bad joke. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, they really milked the whole NBA Jam formula while they had the chance. They got all the money they needed from it. And then came the end of digitized graphics. The last game, aside from this 2-on-2 hockey game I've never heard of, was called Rampage World Tour. This also came out on consoles. It's the sequel to, at this point, a very old game in Midway's catalog. There's something like, 12, 13 years between the two releases? For whatever reason, they decided to put their experience with pre-rendered graphics to use in a sequel to Rampage. And let's play it.
While it's true that there have been no serious side effects reported so far, I think we need to stop production before...
Good.
Yeah, it's good. Well,
Okay.
rip Scum Labs.
And bringing it back to Trog, here is yet another game about eating people. Only this time you're a big-ass monster, and you gotta destroy all the buildings. A lot of good bass in this game. Let me turn this down. It's too bassy. They added some mechanics to this game, believe it or not. You can actually stand on top of buildings and punch them now. You can also jump on them to remove individual stories. And in general, this very much looks like a game from 1997. Doesn't it, though?
It has real 1997 vibes.
Clearly, the creature's goal is to wipe scum labs from the face of the earth.
And yes, Metal points out, you get a nice big titty nurse at the end of every level.
It was the 90s, and there were so many big titty nurses.
Uh-huh.
Fucking, you got Animaniacs, you got your fucking hookups art. It was just...
It was a good time for the burgeoning big titty anime industry. Emphasis on burgeoning.
Danny.
It's the end of the stream. I can say what I want.
I feel bad for you not gone.
I ate a 6-pack.
I hate it.
And some unlabeled medication.
Okay, it's clarified she's an engineer, not a hot nurse. She's just a hot engineer.
Okay, there is a difference.
There is.
I like the last thing I did there was barf. In general, I kind of like this game. It's much faster than the original Rampage. It, like the original, supports up to 3-player. And boy, if you like this game, there sure is a whole hell of a lot of it. There's something like a few hundred levels, I think. It's fun.
It is way too easy to be people.
Did my monster just get high for a second? He spit out a smoke cloud. Alright, so I'm curious. Has anyone else besides me watching this stream right now done the 6 or 7 hour death march that is a long play of NES Rampage? You play NES Rampage, you play for keeps. You gotta finish the whole thing in one sitting. There's no passwords or saves. You gotta do all 100 levels across many, many, many hours. Oh, Rambler did it. Okay.
Wow.
We're both on the same page then. Sorry for punching you in the head.
You can stomp on people and they explode in guts, and you can eat those guts.
Cool.
Oh,
I'm just eating a little bit of everything.
I'm a nude lady!
Uh-huh.
No. Oh, let me come back.
You can come back.
Thank you.
Oh, Boogaloo, I didn't know that. Apparently World Tour for Saturn lets you save your progress. I only played the N64 one where either they didn't offer saving or they forced you to use a controller pack, which I didn't have. It was one of those. But let me tell you, if you're going to play 6 hours of Rampage, you have to be like 7 years old. Because there's no way you have the time for that. It's fun. It's stupid, but it's supposed to be.
Are we gonna break apart the PlayStation?
Oh yeah. Taking it out on each other now. And if you want even more of this, they made a sequel to this exclusively for consoles, Rampage Universal Tour. And then there was some PS2 remake? That sounds familiar. Did I review that? Rampage Ultimate Destruction, I think it was called. So Midway definitely did explore the formula to its fullest. If you're hoping for a new Rampage, you don't want a new Rampage. Just play one of the existing ones.
I'm amazed they didn't make it for when the Rampage movie came out.
That is kind of surprising, yeah, that there wouldn't be a budget console game at the same time or something.
Man, I have not seen that movie. I don't know.
I hear they got The Rock to play one of the monsters. Or is it just The Rock?
The Rock is playing the big titty.
Whoa, cool.
Oh, speaking of big titty, I'm nude now.
There's an actor with range. It's a fun game. I could put a lot of time into it if you wanted me to.
Same.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we should do a Rampage stream for charity and lose our minds.
Yeah, just play it for 24 hours. Nothing but punching and puking.
Honestly, if I'm on stream for 24 hours, no charity will accept me. I will just, no.
Yeah.
I will personally implode. It'll be awful.
Alright, should we move on to the finale?
Yeah.
We gotta finish things off here. Alright. Apparently, the only game we didn't cover tonight is 2-on-2 Open Ice Challenge. Go take a look at that. It does for hockey what NBA Jam does for basketball. But I have one specific game in mind to finish out tonight's stream, and that is Cruis'n USA. This game is as American as apple pie. It is the most American thing ever, and I will demonstrate that to you right now. I think I have cheats enabled. So like we mentioned during Cruis'n World, this was a big game. In general, Midway just had a bunch of huge... Sex tug!
Okay, continue. Sorry to interrupt.
In general, Midway just had a whole great lineup of arcade games. Yeah!
Okay, that's good.
So I'm gonna play this a little bit, just to give you an impression of what it's like.
Choose your car.
Sex tug.
Sex tug. You're even the XXX card.
Ready, set, go!
I remember at the time, this and Killer Instinct were being hyped up as the first games to use Ultra 64 hardware, which turned out to be a complete fabrication. Neither of those games used hardware remotely similar to the N64. And when this did come to N64, it was a heavily compromised port. N64 never ended up getting Killer Instinct 1. Instead, it got a conversion of Killer Instinct 2 called Killer Instinct Gold, which itself had its own compromises. But both this and Killer Instinct at the title screen were like, Ultra 64 hardware, play it now, and then get it in the home later. It was all just marketing.
Danny, did you see the corn pop sign at the beginning of the stage?
I did. Gotta have my pops.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, at this point, Midway kind of dove into the world of, I guess, advertising, in-game ads. That would become a bigger thing with Off-Road Fury or Challenge or whatever it was called.
I love your little car.
I do too. It's so fast.
It's very... I'd say it's about 10% blondie. Blondier than the other car.
It's pretty blomby as far as cars go. Oh yeah, that's that nice blomb noise. Oh, hey, Jesus!
Okay. Electric Boogaloo mentions that most of the team that worked on N64 version of Cruis'n USA went on to do Hydro Thunder.
Oh, nice.
That's a good game.
That was also Midway, wasn't it? Man, they just ruled arcades for like a decade. What happened? Well, 2000 happened. I'm not doing this again. I entered sex once. That's more than enough. Sex tug.
Ready, set, go!
Okay, so there's cheats and Danny's inputting some.
Uh-huh. Let's do this one. And then, if we're lucky, and we all cross our fingers at the same time, I can get a save state to work.
Ready, set,
There it is. It works.
Holy cow.
This is the final race of Cruis'n USA. We're gonna see the ending. And if you know what the ending is, don't spoil it.
No spoilers.
I bet people have spoiled it already, though. But yeah, if you spend a shit ton of money on this machine and finish all the races and manage to get to the last level and finish in first place, you get a special ending. And that's how we're going to close out tonight's stream. It's looking a little framey, or is that just me? I guess it's fine.
It's fine. Oh, you're in Washington, D.C. Oh, it's a cherry blossom, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I think you passed by the White House.
We made it all the way to D.C. We passed the Capitol building. I saw the Washington Monument.
The cool purple fountain that everyone loves from
They got-
Washington, D.C.
They got these cool ramps you can drive up on. DC is really a driver's paradise.
Yeah, exactly. We're cruising the Vietnam War Memorial. Jesus.
Paying tribute.
Are we? Yeah, let's see. Cool Hardy says we're cruising USA to the polls. Have you ever been to Washington, D.C.?
I have not.
Me either. We should go someday. I don't know what we do there.
We drive.
It's true. I get my driver's
Oh,
license.
no! Oh, man.
Danny.
Nobody saw that.
Danny.
I didn't do that.
Danny!
Well, we're going through the Great Money Tunnel of Washington, D.C.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
There was no kids on that bus. In fact, it was unmanned. It was a self-driving bus. Don't worry about it.
So it's like only robots on that bus?
Yeah, they were taking robot kids to school. And we did it. Finished the last race in first place, and our reward is maybe the best ending I've ever seen in a Midway game.
Man, you skipped Texas.
Had to do it. I had business to do. We drove right around Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Cruis'n
What?
Come on in the hot. Y'all come back.
Okay, for whatever reason that played at turbo speed instead of the normal speed it was supposed to go. Which made it even better.
Oh my god!
How about you relaunch that ROM, and we'll see what Bill Clinton is supposed to be saying. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna load up the first race. Wee hoop up dip that Bill Clinton turbo hyper fighting. I'm gonna start up a race and then load a save state. In the hopes of getting a normal Bill Clinton. Alright, here's what we're doing. We're loading that state. We're loading up the cheats menu. And then we're going to finish this race. Alright, Bill. Shower us with your wisdom.
Ladies
Right, here
and
we
gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Cruis'n USA. Come on down. I love this job. Yeehaw! Come on in the hot tub. Woo-wee! Hey, doggy! Y'all come back now. Yeehaw!
He's having a great time.
Alright.
America's greatest president, everyone, Bill Clinton. Star of Cruis'n USA by Midway.
Sitting in a hot tub.
That's an actual representation of the rooftop of the White House during the Clinton administration.
Yeah, it was really hard for, you'd go visit the White House and a cow would just shit on you. Like, because it was from above, it would just, like, just, you know, put its ass over the side, shit on you, and then, you know, and the Bill Clinton would be like, oh, whoops-a-doodle!
What did he have cows up there? Why was that necessary, Bill?
Milk. He wanted fresh milk.
That's disgusting.
You know?
Bring that cow titty over here.
Straight from the titty! Oh yeah, Mad Booty did sound effects. Good name.
Just hanging out in my hot tub with my hot ladies and my hotter cows. All the milk you can drink.
Yeah, the Clinton Foundation is why raw milk is now legal in America, because he just absolutely loved it.
This would not stop talking it up. Beefcake Boy is Sal DeVita. Sal DeVita gets around, and I've never heard him called Beefcake Boy before.
So Matt Booty now runs the Xbox, Xbox first party devs some shit.
It's that Matt Booty.
Also, I don't know if you saw it, but Ray Gay. I love Ray Gay. I respect Ray Gay. I am Ray Gay. There are
I love
ferrets.
Ray Gay.
George Bernstein.
Thanks to Howard Lincoln,
Shit.
a couple of people from Nintendo, Mr. Arakawa.
I support Gizmo the Ferret above all else. Steve Ritchie.
I thought Alex was going to say the X-Pac first party. Oh, no animals were harmed. You do run over a few animals in this game.
Thanks, Christian. Why is this copyright Nintendo?
It was a co-pro,
I guess there you go.
and they had to actually negotiate the rights for the new Cruis'n that came to arcades recently. Well, that was an inconsistently sped up version of Cruis'n USA, but I think you get the idea. Yeah, race across the USA so you can have a party with Bill Clinton on the roof of the White House.
With your pops.
Gotta have my pops.